Some guitars are just guitars, but some become legends. In today's episode, we take a deep dive into Gibson Custom Shop's recreation of the 59 Skinnerburst. So without further ado, let's take a look at this legend. Hello guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury strum machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley and today we're checking out an absolute legend of a Gibson Les Paul. This is Gibson's Custom Shop's Tom Murphy aged 2014 replication of Joe Bonamassa's personal 59 Skinnerburst. It's an iconic guitar with a lot of story behind it, so without further ado, let's go into the background of this guitar. The original Skinnerburst serial number 91959 is owned by collector and musician Greg Skinner. It's been hailed as one of the best preserved 59 Les Pauls ever found, and its tone, well, let's just say it speaks for itself. So we all know Joe Bonamassa is a master musician, but he's almost as famous for his guitar collection as he is for his guitar playing. He owns so many 59, 58, 60s bursts. He has basically got every Gibson model vintage guitar in his Nerdville collection in California. He has a few kind of collections dotted about, but I know Nerdville and Nashville are kind of the most popular ones. So once it was in Bonamassa's collection, Gibson Custom Shop set out to make a perfect replica of this guitar. Down to the molecular level, using 3D scanning and meticulous aging, this isn't just a tribute, it's as close as you'll ever get to the real thing. For collectors, tone chasers, and Les Paul purists, this is the guitar. So of course this guitar was limited to 150 in production, and this is number 74. And this was hand-aged by master artisan Tom Murphy. You can always tell because his little initials are on the bottom of the lacquer checking of this guitar. But this guitar just looks amazing. It's a beautiful recreation of a 59 Les Paul. And without the affiliation to Joe Bonamassa, this is still just a great Les Paul in general. It's a very versatile instrument. You can play basically any style on a 59. It's beautiful. So without further ado, let's grab the case and open up this Skinnerburst. So these Skinnerbursts come in a kind of traditional Lifton style case. These are the kind of the 2014 ones with 5 big combo latches. So let's open it up and see this Skinnerburst for the first time. Wow, look at that top, that is absolutely beautiful. So Skinnerburst is known for being a very clean example of a 59. We have a really nice lemon burst here, but there is a little bit of orange to the finish. This has a very nice top indeed. We've got a little bit of cross grain as well as that tiger flame, and as you can see we've got the Tom Murphy aging here. We'll make sure to go over all the specs in the next section of this video, but let's have a look at the case before we do. In this little pocket here we have all the case candy, so I'll get that out now. So here's the certificate of authenticity. As you can see, we've got Joe Bonamassa's signature on this, so let's open it up. Got a nice picture of Joe with the guitar there. As you can see, the original does have a lot of flame, but in a lot of videos of the guitars that I can see, which I'll insert now, it doesn't look as flamey as this, so it must be one that really moves in the light. And as you can see here, Gibson Custom Shop certificate of authenticity, and we can see it's the Skinnerburst, number 74. So this is what you get when you pay £15,000 for the Skinnerburst. It's a very expensive Les Paul, but some would consider it the holy grail of Les Paul reissues. So without further ado, let's pull it out and talk about the specs. So guys, now it's time to talk about the specs of this Skinnerburst from Gibson Custom. As I mentioned previously, there's only 150 of these guitars made, and this is number 74. I believe it used to be at Peach Guitars, as I can see the listing here on my laptop. But these were all aged by Tom Murphy, and you can tell that by a little kind of initials that he leaves in the guitar in the lacquer checking, which I think is a really cool thing. Around this area here, you got the T and the M. I'll try and get some close-ups so you guys can see. But yeah, these are all Tom Murphy aged, every single one of them, so that adds an extra level of kind of class and rarity to these guitars. These were by no means cheap. Brand new, they went for about $15,999. Yes, £15,999 retail. They were incredibly expensive, rare, but also it's a very cool recreation of Joe Bonamassa's Skinnerburst. We've gone over all the details about Skinnerburst, but obviously we've got this kind of beautiful lemon drop fade. It has a very vintagey kind of look to it, as the original is a little bit more plain than this. This definitely has some more figuring. But let's go over the specs. So obviously you guys probably know the specs of a 59 by now. So for construction, we have one piece of mahogany for the body. This has some nice kind of ribbon figuring in it. Obviously we have the buckle rash towards the bottom, which is quite a rare thing to see. Usually you see it around this area. So that suggests that the guitar was either played really high up and it was the belt buckle was hitting here, or that it was sat down and played a lot. Of course, we have the Gibson Custom 2014 medallion there. As we turn it over, of course, we have that two-piece flamed maple top. I think this is a really good kind of recreation. It is a little bit more flamey than the original Skinnerburst, but that's never a bad thing. Of course, we have really nice patina on this one, and the aging on this one is done to another level. It's very, very tasteful, only a little bit around the edges. Obviously, this buckle rash is quite interesting, but not too much finish checking to the front of the guitar. This would have been razor blade checked and not temperature checked, so all these little lines have been done with a little razor blade, so you can see why these guitars were so expensive, as they are basically a piece of art the way they've been. So this guitar is equipped with the Gibson Custom Buckers and the Burst Bucker free pickups, which are meticulously recreated to replicate the PAF tone, and it sounds just like Joe Bonamassa's 59. According to Gibson. There's some other cool specs that really make this guitar a replica to Skinnerburst. As you can see there on the ABR1 bridge, we have an extra thumb wheel, and this was done to add strength to this bridge. And obviously, as this was a touring guitar, it was obviously done to make sure these posts didn't bend. And then we have the aluminium stop tailpiece. We've got 2 volumes, 2 tones with the Bumblebee capacitors and a 3-way switch. Pick guard still on this one. Moving down, we've got a rosewood fingerboard, celluloid inlays, kind of a standard Gibson custom spec. We've got the 24.75 inch scale length and a 12 inch radius. Got some really nice patina on this binding here, and you can see on the neck there just some of the lovely Tom Murphy artisan checking. And as you can see here, a little bit of lacquer's come off from someone's rings, and the headstock looks really good on these. I really like how the lacquer checking looks. If I get it in the light right, you might be able to just see kind of it peeking in there with the Les Paul silkscreen and the Gibson celluloid inlay. The Bell truss rod cover and a nylon nut. This is obviously a mahogany neck, and we have that kind of true Goldilocks 59 profile. Very comfortable shape. I'd say it's a very good replication of a 59. Not too big, not too small, kind of right in the middle. And on the back there, you can see where it says Skinnerburst 74, and we have the Gibson Deluxe Cloisonne style tuners. Of course, as this is a recreation of the 59, we have hide glue construction, and we even have the little cutaway where you can see the maple top. So yeah, that's everything that goes into this Joe Bonamassa Skinnerburst. It's an absolute beauty to look at. The artisan relicking on this really shows, and it's very tasteful indeed. I do want to mention though that the lacquer on these guitars, especially from 2014, feel very different to the Murphy Lab guitars that they're producing now. This definitely isn't that true lacquer that you get on the Murphy Labs guitars now. The Murphy Lab guitars feel very delicate, is probably the right word. A very thin finish, which is nitro, so even the smallest amount of damage is going to peel that finish off. Whereas this feels a little bit more heavy wearing. So if you're wanting a guitar that has the aged look but kind of maintains looking like that, then this is a good one to buy. It still has a little bit more of a thicker finish than the current Murphy Lab stuff, but I just thought I'd bring that in now just so you guys can have a comparison. We've talked about the specs, we've talked about the aging. How does she sound though? Let's go to the tone demonstration and find out. So guys, now it's time for the tone demonstration of this Gibson Skinnerburst. For today's episode, I'm running into my Kemper Profiler on my AC30 preset, and I've got some fuzz and tube screamer effects on the floor to jazz it up a little bit. In the intro of this video, I was playing a song called Mind's Eye by Joe Bonamassa. The intro is on the neck pickup and it has this really nice kind of gloomy sound in D minor, so let's hear that again. Let's hit the second position. Now for the solo tone, I engaged a fuzz pedal on the bridge pickup. Let's hear it. overdriven tone, and straight off the bat, this 59 has a beautiful tone. Very classic 59 sound with them jangly kind of PAF tones from these pickups, but they dirty up very nicely and have almost like a P90 quality with fuzz. This is what I really like about a set of PAFs, is that they're nice and low output on clean tones, but they really do cut through on the fuzz tones. Let's hear that neck pickup again. Lovely kind of bell-like neck tone, has everything you'd want for a blues sound. I'm just going to mess with the tone control a little bit just to see what a jazz sound would sound like on this guitar. A really nice kind of comp tone. If I add some more reverb, it'd get a little bit more ethereal. Such a beautiful sound. The neck pickup with the tone off almost sounds a little bit like an L5. It gets that jazz box sound really nicely. So it just goes to show that the 59, and this goes for 58s and ROs as well, but they're one of the most versatile guitars that you can buy, especially with these custom buckers. So you get that nice light sound, but you can really heavy it up as well. Now going to kind of like a stripped back crunch tone, you can really hear where these pickups come to life. So this is the bridge pickup. Neck pickup. show, this Les Paul is very, very versatile indeed. You can play slash on it, you can play a little bit of shred, and you can play blues all in one. So now I'm tuned to drop D, and I'm on my JCM 800 high gain channel, so I've got quite a metal sound. This is just to show kind of how versatile this guitar is, so let's hear some drop D riff. Tones that you wouldn't expect to get from a 50s guitar, so that's pretty cool. Let's hear some more chords before going to the loop. What a tone. I love playing drop D chords in that way. If you don't know kind of what I'm doing here, a quick lesson for you guys, but basically drop down the E to a D. Essentially, that is your major shape. Imagine you're playing like a major like that, but you can play it with the smaller interval there, so 5 of the E and 4 of the G. If you want to make that minor, all you do is take the third and flatten it to a flat 3. So in this case to there. And that's your difference. You got a major. And if you know your chord scales, then you can create some really cool thick lines. I'm just going major, major, minor there and adding in some of the modal tones. Creates a really thick tone. I was kind of inspired by Bonamasa's playing with that because he does a lot of kind of big open chord voicings in Tosca. But yeah, that is a little quick lesson for you. So to finish off today's episode, I'm going to play a version of Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana, so let's hear it on the bridge pickup. go to my personal review and rating of this Skinnerburst. So guys, we're at the end of another video. Before I get into my personal rating and review of this guitar, make sure to go down this video and leave a thumbs up rating. It really helps us increase engagement on these videos and get bigger and better guitars for you. Also, whilst you're down there, make sure to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we make a new post. I'm going to be going to Nashville, Tennessee next week, and I'm going to be vlogging every single day of it, so you don't want to miss out. So make sure to hit subscribe so you don't. Also, leave your comments in the comment section below. What do you think of this Skinnerburst? Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know down below. For today's episode, I'm going to rate this guitar a 9 out of 10. It's a solid Les Paul, a great recreation of the iconic Skinnerburst. It plays amazing. You can play pretty much any style on it. The neck shape is basically perfect. My only criticism is just down to the finish. I'd like a little bit more of a lighter finish like the Murphy Lab guitars do, but that's just personal preference. That's also been very nitpicky on my behalf. This guitar is an incredible Les Paul, has a very classic finish to it. Tom Murphy aged aspect to it is really cool for rarity, and yeah, the pickups just sound amazing. If you're looking for a very special 59 Les Paul that speaks to you, then I'd really recommend trying this one out. Also, what's cool is obviously that there's only 150 made in the world, so it's a very limited run from 2014. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing this one today, so I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10. But as always, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think of this Skinnerburst. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comment section below. We're building a really nice community down there. So make sure not to miss out. Make sure to leave your comments down below, and we can have a little debate in the comment section below. But thank you so much for checking into this Squealing Pig Guitars video. My name is Ben Keightley, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.